Imagine a world where cameras are more than tools, where every release feels like the rebirth of creativity itself. That's the feeling right now in the photography community. Because Sony is about to do it again. Yes, the giant is returning with something that feels like an empire striking back. The Sony A7V with its brand new sensor is coming in October or November, and this is not just another camera update. This is a signal. A reminder. That the mirrorless war is far from over. Now picture this for a moment: you're holding a camera, and with just one click, you feel like you've broken the barrier between what your eyes see and what reality can capture. That's what people are expecting from the A7V. And here's the kicker: it might not just be hype. The early information suggests Sony is about to rewrite the standards again. And if you're thinking this sounds like just another incremental upgrade, think again. Because this time, it's all about the sensor. Sony has always been the king of sensors, not just for themselves but for almost every major camera brand you can name. Canon, Nikon, Fuji, you'll find Sony sensors everywhere. But when Sony saves its newest tech for its own flagship line, that's when you know the game changes. The A7V is rumored to come with a next-gen stacked BSI sensor, which could mean faster readout, zero rolling shutter, insane dynamic range, and possibly even a boost in low-light magic. Imagine capturing the night sky without noise eating away at your shadows. That's the level of expectation here. But it's not only about specs, it's about the storytelling. Let's pause and ask, why do cameras matter? Why do people still care, when everyone already has a phone that can shoot 4K, HDR, even ProRAW? It's because when you hold a real camera, you're not just recording, you're creating. You're choosing glass, framing depth, sculpting light. The A7 series has always been about giving everyday creators that professional edge. And now the A7V could take that same edge and sharpen it beyond recognition. And here's where the suspense builds, because the leaks are pointing to October or November. Think about that timing. Right before holiday season. Right before creators gear up for end-of-year projects. Right before the competition like Canon and Nikon get their next big releases in. Sony is setting the stage for a showdown. And you know what? That's why the community is buzzing. People are waiting, watching, wondering, will this be the camera that redefines the next 5 years of mirrorless photography? Stay with me, because the surprises don't end here. There's talk about AI integration inside the A7V. Not gimmicks, not filters, but real-time subject recognition powered by Sony's machine learning. Birds, cars, athletes, you name it. The A7V might track it with a precision that feels supernatural. You could point your lens at a fast-moving subject, and the autofocus won't just keep up, it will predict the movement. Imagine never missing the decisive moment again. That's not just a tool, that's a revolution for sports shooters, wildlife photographers, even vloggers. And yet, the question lingers, will Sony keep the body familiar, or will they push design changes too? Rumors suggest a deeper grip, better thermal control, and a fully redesigned EVF that could make you forget you're looking at a screen at all. If true, this won't just be about resolution or frame rates. It will be about immersion, the feeling that your gear is an extension of your eye. But here's the real cliffhanger: pricing. Will Sony push this camera into unreachable territory, or will they surprise us with something aggressively competitive? History tells us Sony doesn't like to sit back. They like to strike hard, at just the right time. And that's why October or November could be a moment where creators, hobbyists, and pros all pause and say, this is it. This is the next chapter. Let's dig deeper, because the A7V isn't just a camera, it's shaping up to be a statement. Think about it, the A7 line is Sony's bread and butter. The original A7 changed the game by bringing full-frame mirrorless to the masses. The A7 II stabilized it. The A7 III became a legend, the so-called basic model that wasn't basic at all. And the A7 IV, well, it was solid, but many felt it was a safe step. Now, the A7V has the responsibility of bringing the fire back. And from everything we've heard, it looks like Sony knows it. The new sensor is the heart of it all. Stacked architecture isn't just a buzzword, it means speed, it means accuracy, it means fewer compromises. Faster readout means blackout-free shooting at high bursts. Better dynamic range means your highlights and shadows don't betray you in tough lighting. Pair that with Sony's color science improvements, and we could see a camera that finally silences the Sony colors critics once and for all. Now here's a wild thought. What if the A7V finally pushes video into territory we haven't seen at this price point? Rumors hint at 8K recording, oversampled 4K, maybe even ProRes support. And yes, you might be thinking, do we really need 8K? Maybe not for everyone, but the power of 8K isn't in watching, it's in editing. Crop in without losing detail. Pull stills that look like they were shot with a high-end DSLR. And think about future-proofing. The A7V could be the camera that makes your content relevant for years, not just months. And here's another hook, the competition is scared. Canon's R6II is great, Nikon's Z6 III is promising, but the A7V might leapfrog them if Sony nails execution. This is where the Empire Strikes Back feeling comes in. Sony isn't just competing, they're asserting dominance again. But beyond the tech, let's get human for a second. Because when you buy a camera, you're not just buying megapixels or frame rates. You're buying possibility. You're buying those late nights when you're out on the streets chasing neon reflections. You're buying those road trips where the light breaks through the clouds at just the right moment. You're buying the chance to create memories that don't just fade, but live forever. The A7V isn't just promising specs. It's promising you'll never have to wonder, what if my gear wasn't enough? And as we approach October and November, Sony knows the pressure. They know creators are hungry. They know every decision matters, price, ergonomics, features. If they get it right, this camera could become the next A7 III, a model remembered not as an update, but as a revolution. So here's the final thought, the closing punch. The Empire is ready. The Sony A7V isn't just coming, it's coming to remind everyone why Sony is at the top of the mirrorless world. Whether you're a pro shooting for clients, a filmmaker chasing cinematic shots, or just someone who wants to document life with no compromises, the A7V might just be the camera that changes your story. The countdown to October and November has begun, and the real question is, are you ready for it?